Bootlickers. 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 That's a phrase you grow up your whole life hearing somebody being called a bootlicker, and you just have to go with the metaphor or whatever the hell they call it. And you see that guy, he's deferential, probably sycophantic. He is drawn to people who abuse him so he can take the pain socially that he wants to have sexually or something like that. I don't know how they put these things. But happened to be. I'd seen the movie a clock. I'll call it a Clockwork Orange because that's the way everybody says it. Right now, I'll say it that way. I saw that when I was in the Army. Vizenko showed it to me, and I sat there and I watched it. And I'm like, I was like 18, 19. I had no idea what the hell's going on. And then when I was just turned 26, I did a semester in Bath, England. They make you say it, Bath, B-A-T-H, Bath. And you say, well, isn't it Bath? And they get mad. They say, Bath. The old women, they say, you have to say it right. And I say, how am I supposed to say Bath when I'm speaking an American accent? You know, it makes you just sound like you're trying too hard. But I do understand calling people by their names if they choose to be called by something. My only hope is they don't know I've already been calling them that before they find out that's the name they want. That way I can keep calling them that the same way. Nobody has to know. You look at it, part of Adam's requirements were in Genesis in the Garden of Eden and stuff was naming all the animals. So I guess we have to name something. Bath. It's Bath, England. I lived there, and in a class, a cultural class with authors and movies, we watched again Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. But we also read Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange, which that is the difference. You can make everybody think and be one way, think and be one way, think and be one way. And once you get that to that through science and sociology and such, it may mean that you look pretty, but you're losing the inner workings that allow us as individuals to achieve that beauty. They've just made a machine out of us. And what they did, I understood the word bootlicker when we watched that movie that second time, and I was reading at the same time and seeing it. They're Alex, Malcolm McDowell, I think. Yeah, Roddy's the guy from Planet of the Apes, not Roddy Piper, the other McDowell. They live. When they put him through everything where they made him hate his own music and they made him watch all the horrors that he loved, but they were putting had drugs in him to make him go, and he couldn't turn away. And if he thought evil thoughts, he would puke. On the stage, when they put him up there for display, they had a naked woman. He was like, he wanted it. And he started going, because, you know, he's a rapist naturally. So they worked on that to keep him from raping girls in the streets in the theater. But at one point, they had a guy come out in a suit and just rail on him and demean him. And he wanted to fight him. He wanted to just tear his arms off, you know, like the fucking chimpanzee, great ape, human, Hobo sapien. Oh my gosh, $30,000. You see a bum that looks smart, you can call him a Hobo sapien. But if you make a movie or write a book about it, you owe me $35,000 for stealing. Just came up with it. Hobo sapiens. Oh my gosh, I think that is my autobiography. Hobo sapien. Sapien. Two sapiens. And this guy came out against him. He wanted to hurt him. And he just, and the guy's like, get down. And he wanted to throw up. He just felt physically ill. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't move because he's having evil thoughts. And they've done the psycho fucking, they've done the work on him. And he wants to throw it, but he's retching. And the guy's, lick my boot. And he puts his boot right there in his face. And what's your boot? Lick your boot. It's all the dog shit you walk through all day long, all the camel dung. You don't show somebody the sole of your foot. It's an insult. So I understood how demeaning it is watching that, to see Alex licking that guy's boots. And it makes me think about the people that, well, the megalomaniacs following that poor guy. There's a winning in that. There's a dominance. And like, there are people that just can't win this game, and they can't appreciate the playing of it. Sometimes we just have to enjoy the game. We have to know our place and such. And there are people that are playing this game that just want to win, and they're angry if they lose, and nothing's going to be accepted unless it's a win for them. But the truth is, if they really, really were that winning in nature, and their narcissism didn't get in the way of what they could have been if they'd have been humbled to those ahead of them that could teach them, rather than trying to step on them to get up top. These people that can't lose, maybe they should have tried harder, and they could be the guy that's at the presidency, and that's the only way it could actually work for them, because if they're living under that guy and he gets in there, that poor guy, he's going to have them licking his boots, and they're going to have to enjoy it, else their husband gets chased down in the woods and their wife gets taken to the mansion as a breeder. Kind of surprises me that poor guy's people haven't started using the bootlicker statement back, because it only so far seems to be on him. But we know if somebody else has a good idea, he'll steal it. Goddamn bootlicker. Oh, the part that they miss. They cheer when he gets his mind back. But that's only because Kubrick only went 20 chapters in. He didn't do the 21st chapter. Anthony Burgess wrote it in 3 parts, like 3 acts. And life, in his opinion, takes 7 phases. And so in the 21st, the final chapter of the book, Alex is walking around. He's in a diner, and he sees Petey, his old droog, with a woman and a baby. And he's like, what the hell? And he's trying to figure out what the hell to do with himself now that he's been cured and he can attack everything, but he can't find his friends. And there's Petey. And Petey was able to describe to him, just by picking up and letting him look at this baby, maybe held it, I don't remember. It's been since 1997 that I read it. He understood that it's easy to destroy. It's easy. It's humanity, a thing that's within us all. We want to see some kind of change. Destruction is easy. But what he looked at, seeing this baby and maybe emulating what could be in the future for this child itself, if it was taken care of properly, it takes a pillage. He understood that creating it may take more work, but it gives the same pleasure of seeing the change occur. Not only that, but creating gives you the next step toward the future, whereas destruction, you're just lying around in the primordial ooze rather.